Welcome to the PHDJ podcast, everybody. Thanks. See, it's weird not introducing ourselves.
I still think it's redundant because it goes. That's what I was telling him. I'm like, well, you have to understand, in our headphones, it's not like we have a producer playing the.
Right, we don't play that. You know what's funny? I was just on the. Have you been listening to Wyatt Hill and Matt Johnson? They've been doing a. I
have not, but I know they have.
Weddingzilla, I think it is, and they just interviewed me. And yeah, Wyatt plays their intro live. So as you start speaking, we're coming out of that. It's weird. KC, now you've thrown a monkey wrench into everything. Joe and I have been doing this for 2.5 years, and now we don't know how to start. We literally don't know how to start this thing.
I said, damn, bro, we've been doing this 3 years.
Yeah.
And when he goes, you're the groom. You're the best man, brother.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Like, is that what we should do? We're just going to spend the whole podcast on redoing our intro. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. How's everybody doing? I don't know
what to say. Anyway.
Weird.
What's up,
anyway, hey, and let's make a hard right here. Send our thoughts out to everybody in Dorian's path as we're recording this Wednesday morning. It looks like it's going to make landfall sometime later today. So by the time this drops, I'm imagining that some people will have felt the brunt of it. Obviously, the Bahamas got devastated over the weekend. So we're just sending positive thoughts out to everybody. And my opinion is listen to the authorities. If they tell you to evacuate, just go. Be safe. You're home. That's why you have insurance. You can recover anything, but except human life. So just be safe. That would be my advice.
Preach. Absolutely. Yeah.
Does it look like it's going to get you, Joe, or not?
I think it's just going to be a lot of wind and rain, Mike. I mean, I hope, but
I hope.
We've had low category storms that have done, category 4 damage. I mean, Morehead City, where I just came from 2 days ago, is still recovering from last fall. I mean, still rebuilding. Half the hotels are still closed down there.
Yeah.
They took a huge hit this season during the tourist season because there weren't enough places to stay.
Yeah, we still have places on the Jersey Shore, believe it or not, from Hurricane Sandy, which is 6 or 7 years ago now.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
And we still have places that haven't rebuilt. So yeah, it's crazy. It's craziness.
It's devastating. So on a more positive note, I did see something super cool on, I think it was Facebook, from our friend Rachel Lynch the other day. I know you saw this, right? Where she shouted you out on the.
Oh my God. Yes. Wow, Rachel. I'll tell you what, you and I both get our share of compliments on the internet, but that was one of the nicest things.
Highest level of compliment.
Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah. It was really, really sweet of her.
Hold on a second. I got to read this because I thought it was awesome. Okay. I screenshot it. So Rachel Lynch, if you don't know her, where is Rachel?
Nobody doesn't know Rachel Lynch. She's from Connecticut. Great DJ who's really made a name for herself. Mm-hmm. We talked about her last week or 2 weeks ago when we were recapping the DJ Expo. She and Nick Spinelli did a seminar, and there aren't two better people to talk about making a name for yourself on social media than them, because they've done it in lightning fast speed. So
this was Facebook, right, Mike?
I'm pretty sure it was Facebook. Yeah, that's where I read it.
So anyway, I'm just going to read it real quick, and then if you're not following her, go find her on both Facebook and Instagram, and then go see the video that accompanies this, because I think it makes this even more poignant, if you will. Last night, I hit a milestone in my career. I finally felt like an entertainer. On the drive home, I thought about how I got to this point, and only one thing came to mind: practice and Michael Walter. 2019 Mobile Beat was a career-shifting experience. The MC Institute put on by Mike was the best thing I ever did for myself. Sean McKee, a.k.a. Big Daddy, and Josh Lask made me do it. I wanted to puke. I had terrible anxiety to get up and get on the mic and showcase what I knew was my weakest asset as a DJ. I stepped up, didn't die, and have been making enormous changes in how I think and feel on my dance floor. In 2018, you never would have found me leaving the decks to go interact and shine with my crowd. My introductions are smoother and I feel so much more calm. I wanted to thank you publicly, Mike, for your gift. This video wouldn't have happened without you. So, and just for the people that aren't going to go back and look at the video, it was her out on the dance floor, literally the entire, I think it was Bohemian Rhapsody, wasn't it? Yeah. Like leading this thing, like holding your camera out from like a, almost like point of view, you know, facing her. The bride's like right in her face, right with her. They're both singing their hearts out. It's a great piece, man.
It was a great video and a great compliment. And I can only deflect it as humbly as I can, because Rachel, I appreciate you giving me credit. But the bottom line is that, and whether Big Daddy and Josh Lask forced you or not, she stepped up and she got involved. And that's when I do a microphone workshop, or MC Institute, as Mobile Beat calls it. That's what it's all about. And there were plenty of people in that room this year, that week, that never got on the microphone and just watched and observed. And I'm sure they got some nuggets and some takeaways from just listening to my advice. But the bottom line is the people that got involved got the most out of it. And so, Rachel, thank you for the kind words. I'm so glad that I had an impact on you. But don't lose any credit for yourself, because you were the one that got involved, listened to my advice, and then, as she said, she practiced, and that's what it's all about. And the best news is, if you missed the opportunity last year, Mobile Beat has brought, I think we've already talked about this, Mobile Beat is bringing me back in the same capacity in March of 2020. I'll be doing the MC Institutes, where people can get involved, get on the microphone, and then I can offer some feedback. So if you want to have a career turnaround moment like Rachel did, be in Las Vegas for Mobile Beat and get involved. That's all I can say. So, but thank you for bringing that up, Joe. That was really nice. And yeah, Rachel, just you made my, I was going to say day, but really you made my weekend. I was so blown away by that.
That's really nice. Cool. I love it, man. So what else are we talking about today?
Well, big topic today is we have a new sponsor. And it's somebody that it's so funny because it's such a great organic sponsor. Yeah. We have been talking about DJ Event Planner glowingly since we started this podcast. And so Troy is on board as a sponsor, and you'll hear ads from him from now on. But I mean, I just wanted to start his first episode as being a sponsor, and you and I kind of double back and sing his praises and DJ Event Planner's praises a little bit, because you and I both use it. Do you know how long you've been using it?
Not nearly as long as you. 3.5 years.
This is actually our 10th anniversary. We switched over, and I remember it was right before the DJ Expo. So it was 2009, and I was concerned about the learning curve. So I kind of did it in August, because August is a little bit of a slower time for us as far as incoming leads. And what I said to, and this just shows you how long my office staff has been in place, because it's all the same people. I remember sitting Lynn and Chris and Dominic down and saying, you have the month of August to get used to this system, because to me, the goal should be, as you speak to a client, you should be able to input their data. And I said, it's probably going to take a month between writing the information down and then, but that's an extra step. Within a week, we were all doing it. And that's how intuitive the system is. When we get leads in through our website, it automatically populates it. So that's always a great bonus. So, I mean, and that's 10 years ago. So if you've been using it 3.5 years, I mean, that's still a long time. But yeah, we're on our 10th anniversary of using it.
Damn. Yeah. I think we're 3.5, something like that.
Yeah.
And I think what we did was we did a switch over. What did you come off of, Mike? Intelligence, DJ Intelligence?
No, we were using a program that had been written for us in FileMaker.
I remember that.
And that was one of my biggest questions with Troy was, can you migrate this data? And he did it. He wrote a program for me so basically we can still look up information, because I think we were using that for about 12 years.
Damn.
So we can now look up data that goes back 22 years. And listen, from time to time, we need to do that. You did my sister's wedding in 1998. Well, great. I can still pull that up. I can see what price your sister paid. I can see what DJ she had. Wow. So that was invaluable to us. And that was really one of my hesitations about switching over. But Troy was able to do that for us.
Yeah. I remember we definitely did it in what would be our true off season, which was January or February, I think. Maybe start like we closed out the year, let's say 2015, something like that. and then kind of made the transition.
See, so it's funny that you say that's a slow. That's such a busy sales season.
I know.
I never would have done that.
Yeah, I didn't think about it that way. I think I thought about it from a show standpoint.
No doubt. January, February is slow for us, but I was less concerned about my DJs picking it up than I was my office staff. You know, we're the people that deal with this day to day. You know, the DJs, I want them to be able to communicate, but if worse came to worse, and I remember back in the day, I used to print out what we called work orders, and I would mail that. So I would do it by the month, and I would print them all out, and then I would sort them by DJ, and then I would stick them in, and Lynn would have to mail them out to the DJs. And that's how, if you had events, that's how I notified you of your events. And now, you know, I mean, again, going back 10 years, that's how, everything else. But now, you know, if we book a job within a certain time frame, I will text somebody or email, hey, just added a job for you on September 29th. But if it's booked outside of 6 weeks, I know they're going to see it anyway. And so I didn't tell you I was going to ask you this question, but can you think of, like, what are some of the your favorite things that DJ Event Planner does for you that you go, man, this is such a great time saver, or whatever?
I think, you know, Mike, and I talked about this with somebody yesterday. I was doing a consulting call yesterday, and was, you know, really just singing praises of automation in general. Just, you know, the fact that I'm the only really full-time employee here, or Randy at this point now with the vault, that's kind of taking a lot of my time. But when I was doing all the bookings and phone calls and responding to emails, I think the automation is still key for me, because not only is there automation, you know, to follow up with clients, there's automation to remind them to, you know, that they even, you know, asked about our pricing in the first place. There's automation to remind them to fill out a survey. There's automation, you know, to the DJs to, like you said, hey, you've got a show booked. Another automation, hey, have you, you know, done your final planning meeting? There's automation about, hey, have you thought about an upsell? I mean, not an upsell, but I would say, hey, have you thought about a photo booth? Hey, you thought about uplighting? Send them a little clip to it. You know, send them a picture from the venue where they're going to be. Like, those things, I think, at the end of the day, and again, you know, that's a CRM standard if you set it up right. But, you know, if you guys get DJ Event Planner and you set it up right, and I'm probably using it, Mike, we've talked about this before, I bet I'm only using it to 50% capacity.
Yeah, I'm probably using it a little bit more than that, but I'm sure that because every once in a while I'll talk to somebody who goes, oh yeah, and I go, oh, it does that, and so I'm sure I'm not using it to its fullest capacity. Same. But yeah, I mean, even this morning, Joe, I woke up to 2 automated emails from DJ Event Planner. One telling me I have 2 meetings later today, and it was reminding me appointment summary. So it was telling me what my meetings are. And then another one reminding me, we have this automated, my October 19th bride is 6 weeks away. So it was a reminder, this wedding is 6 weeks away. If you haven't contacted her yet, now's the time. And that goes out to my entire staff. So, you know, we literally have cut down on the instances of the DJs not calling their clients to, you know, to an exceptionally low level. And that's because, you know, of that kind of automated email system, which again, yes, you have to set it up initially. But once you do it, it's set it and forget it, you know.
And to be honest with you guys, there's, you know, if Troy can help you, he will help you. But there are so many people out there. They have a Facebook group as well that are willing to help you and have helped me. I mean, I've called guys in my market before and been like, how do you do this? Or,
I think that's the irony of this. Troy no longer runs a DJ company. So I think that there are features of DJ Event Planner that he's maybe not even, that he wrote years ago that he's not even aware of, because he doesn't use it day to day the way you and I do. And yeah, I mean, there are plenty of times, and I should also give a shout out. I don't know if he listens, but Brian Hines was the guy that originally turned me on.
I was about to mention him.
I remember Brian hired me to do a full day consultation similar to what you did. And I went down and, you know, I started digging into his business and everything else. And he showed me this DJ Event Planner that he was using. And I felt bad because he was paying me to be there, but all of a sudden I was asking him questions about this program. And that's when I contacted Troy right after that. So shout out to Brian Hines. And he's been one of those guys. I think Brian understands the system as well as just about anybody. And he's answered a bunch of questions for me, especially early on, back in the day when we switched over. I would be like, Brian, does the system do this? And he'd be like, yeah, you can do this, and here's how. And also I give a shout out to my guy, Dominic, because he has really opened the hood of this thing and dug in probably more than anybody else in the office. There are plenty of times where I have to say to Dominic, hey, Dom, how does DJ Event Planner? And then he'll show me how it works. Yeah, I mean, your point about there being plenty of experts out there, it's so true. There's plenty of people who have used this system so much, and there are forums where you can get their answers to their questions.
Brian Hines wakes up tomorrow morning with 300 emails.
Yeah, right. Hey, Brian, can you help me with this? Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Shout out Brian Hines.
Right.
Anyway, anything else, Mike? You want to talk about it?
Well, I mean, that's just it. I think we can focus on that. This has been a good episode, but you know, like I said, going forward, you're going to hear ads for DJ Event Planner, but just know that Joe and I are users, and it's not something that we're like, hey, somebody's giving us some money and we're just going to play an ad. But and if you've followed this podcast for the last 2.5 years, you know that already. I mean, we've made jokes about, hey, when is Troy going to sponsor? Because we already sing his praises pretty much on a weekly basis. So welcome aboard, Troy. Thank you for sponsoring our podcast. And if any of our listeners aren't using and have any questions, you can reach out to Joe, myself, or Brian Hines at what is it? Brian at is it Audio to Go? I think is the name of his company. No, I'm kidding. Reach out to Joe and I, and we'd be happy to offer some advice. And they do have that 30-day free trial. So if you've never used it, sign up for the free trial, and you'll be hooked, I'm sure.
The PHDJ podcast brought to you by Tampax. See, we would never do that.
If they gave us enough money, I would. I certainly would.
All right, man. Thanks, Mike.
God, I'd love to know the things that went on in your head before you came up with Tampax. Like what Rolodex of products did you
first one?
Shuffle through? Get it now. I'm guaranteed there was.
I promise, because here's the problem. Somebody sent me something else the other day. Somebody sent me the logo the other day, and it was this gradient kind of blue to green fade, and I go, I like everything about it except for the fact that it looks like a Tampax box. So it was already planted in my head.
It's funny that it was in your head, because the other day I was going shopping, and Kelly and I share a shopping list on our phone.
Right.
And put stuff in it. And she was like, don't worry about getting me pads. And I was like, I don't mind buying. Like, I'm not a child. I'm a grown man. I'll buy pads for you if you want me to. So I guess it was top of mind for both of us. So it must be end of the month, I guess.
There was that, and the other embarrassment when you were a kid was condoms. That was I would actually save up quarters and go and get them from the
machine. See, I was always kind of proud. Like, if I needed a condom, I would like grab it and put it right. I was like, yeah, that's
podcast is going.
Yeah. The beginning and the end of this podcast is not really great. I think I'm just going to snip it all out and just do the middle.
Oh God, I need some coffee.
Anyway,
all right. Thank you guys for listening.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks, Troy.
Yep. Thanks. Later, Troy. Later. Everybody.